I'll be staying till
All right, thanks.
I think they're coming in, so I'll just be in the background, okay?
Okay.
Donna, we're live, so I'll make you the host, and then please make me the co-host again, okay?
Sure.
There you go.
Hi, Michael. Hi, Norma. Norma. Morning, everyone. What kind of phones do we have today?
Morning, Donna.
Hi, Marianne.
You gave a beginner's course in this, didn't you?
Yep. Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, I took that. I got a Samsung
Samsung,
110E.
yeah. 110E, okay.
110E. Yeah. Basic.
I have a,
I
Sam-
have an
I have a
LG.
Samsung too.
Samsung, okay.
I have an LG.
LG, okay. Yes, Joy, yeah, I'll be sending out notes for this class because we have steps we have to go through some of these settings. All right, well, why don't we get started? I know we always have a mixture of phones here. It's always between Samsung, LG, and Motorola. Those seem to be every now and then we get a Google Pixel. And of course, who is it? Microsoft is out of the game. They don't do the phones anymore. All right, everyone. Welcome to Get Set Up. We're seniors teaching seniors about technology. We also have social hours, all kinds of programming like that. Today's class, this is the Android tips and tricks number 2 out of our series of Android classes. My name is Donna. I'm your guide today. I was in the IT industry for over 30 years. I enjoy helping people get over their fears of technology. We are recording this session. If you'd like a copy of the recording, you can do so by emailing help@getsetup.io. And we are not paid at all to promote the Android phones or Samsung, Motorola, any of those. This is strictly for our training. And we do have Phil in our chat room. If you have a question or problem, having a support issue, you can let him know in chat. So today we're going to talk about setting up Do Not Disturb, how to bring back lost notifications, or to make it any type of a shortcut on your screen, the split screen mode to view 2 different apps, and the accessibility settings that you have available on your phone. So we just talked a little bit about who has what model, and we have a mixture here today. Let's start with Do Not Disturb. Do Not Disturb, this is a feature where you can put your phone in a silence mode. Like, for instance, if you're in a meeting, you don't want your phone ringing. It's going to bring your, all your, like your phone calls will go to voicemail, that type of thing. So to turn it on most of our phones here, you're going to go into your setup. And by setup, I mean, you'll see your gear on your phone, that says settings. It's a little gear. It might have green around it, blue around it. Maybe it has silver or gray, different colors. You click into your setup button. You should find Do Not Disturb. It's usually under sound on most phones. If you're a Samsung, you may find it if you swipe down from the top of your screen on your phone. For instance, I'm going to swipe down from the top. You'll have these quick settings here, and do not disturb. It's the circle with the line in it. You can open this screen up if you put your finger right in the middle where I'm like next to my flashlight. If I pull down, it should open up even more. And sometimes you find do not disturb in there. And anytime you're in your settings for your phone, there is a search box at the top of the screen when you're in settings. And that's another place to go to. I'll show you my settings. I have a search box at the top. You might have the box. You might have a little search icon. It's handy if you can't find a setting and you're trying to figure out where it is on the phone. You might want to think of clicking on there and doing a search. All right.
So the do not disturb is what we got to click on, eh?
Yeah. So take a look at do not disturb.
Okay.
And you want to look at the settings that your phone has. I have a Motorola. We may have some different features under do not disturb, but basically it's for silencing your phone. It could be for at nighttime while you're sleeping. If you just want your phone quiet for a little bit, you can make these setting changes. Calls and text messages, you won't get pinged about them. And you can do other things. For instance, I'm just going to use my phone as an example. You can look to see what your phone offers. I've got a section called behavior where it says here when do not disturb is turned on, do you want alarms to go through? If you wake up, let's say you put do not disturb on at night so you can sleep, but you use your alarm clock on your phone. Well, that could be a problem. So, you can have alarms go through so that you'll still hear the alarm clock in the morning. That won't get silenced. Media, meaning little music or anything like that, can still go through. If maybe you listen to music at night while, to fall asleep to, that type of thing. So you can change these type of settings on your phone. Notifications, you might see a notification section where you might see something that says no visuals. If it mentions visuals, you may have noticed, and especially if your phone is in the bedroom with you at night, you might have the volume turned down on your phone, but if something comes in, your screen glows. Does anybody notice that? It just glows when there's a little message coming, even though you have your phone muted. For some people, that wakes them up. That's enough to wake you up. So you could say that when you're in do not disturb mode, that there's going to be no visuals. So the screen will stay dark. And you can customize. I have a customized section on mine. I can come in here and I can tell it, don't turn on the screen. Don't wake for notifications. So that'll keep the phone completely, dark. So you can see what think about what do you want your phone to do, what you don't want it to do when you're in your do not disturb. Exceptions, you may see an exception section or calls. What happens with phone calls when you're in do not disturb? Well, you could under mine, I have allow calls. You could allow calls from anyone, or how about just the people that are in your contacts, just your phone? Just the people that are in your contacts, maybe just let them come through. Or only starred contacts. You can go into your contacts when you open up, anyone that you have in your contacts. You could be your son, daughter, husband, wife. You should be able to click on a star to star them. That's called a starred contact. And then if you see that under your do not disturb, then you could say, oh, maybe you only have a couple people starred. So only their calls go through. So your phone may, depends on we have different models. Take a look. You might be able to narrow it down to only certain calls. You might have a repeat caller. On my phone, I have allow repeat callers. So what this one does, if the same person calls a second time within 15 minutes, well, maybe there's an emergency. So you can say, yeah, I can say, yeah, I'm going to click on it and say, yeah, let that through. If someone's calling twice, let that call go through that second time, because that could be an emergency happening. So it's up to you on what sometimes you may be in a meeting and you can't have any calls. Maybe you're presenting something. Then you would have to, you can decide on what to do with the calls that do come in. Events and messages and reminders, that's another thing. When you have something on your calendar, most calendars ping you 10 minutes before. So, do you want that? Do you want that any type of reminder or something that's, maybe something you clicked on Facebook and you end up getting a reminder for it or something? Are you going to allow those type of things to come through? And then there's the duration of the do not disturb. You should have that also as a selection. It could be, you could have it that when you turn on do not disturb by just tapping on the do not disturb icon, that circle with the dash in the middle. So you could have it that when you turn it on, it stays on until you turn it off, or you can give it an amount of time to stay on. I can do this for 1 hour or 2 hours. You can put in how long. Maybe you want to do it while you're sleeping. You could have it set, maybe you set it for 8 hours. And then when you turn it on at night, when you go to bed, it'll stay on for 8 hours and then it will undo itself. Or you can have it ask every time. Maybe every time you go to turn it on, it's going to ask you, do you want to leave it on until you turn it off, or do you want to put in how long you want it for? So you can set it accordingly. Some people, it depends on your phone. The do not disturb icon might be close to another icon that you use all the time. And I know in this class, some people have said that they keep accidentally turning it on and then their phone is silenced the whole day. And then people are saying, why aren't you answering your phone? If you have that problem where you are accidentally hitting your do not disturb button, then I would go into do not disturb, and for the duration, just make it for 1 hour. Because then if you accidentally hit the button, it's only going to be silenced for an hour and then it will shut itself off. So that is something to maybe do, or do the ask every time, because then it'll pop up and then you can cancel. Either way, you can do it if you find that you're accidentally hitting the button. Because on some of our phones, it's close to, like I think on my phone, it might be close to right here, it's right next to the flashlight. So if I'm going for my flashlight, I could accidentally hit that do not disturb and turn it on. Any questions about do not disturb? All right. All right, then, well, let's go on to the next one. And this one, I call this one bringing back lost notifications, but you might end up using it for other icons. This is a way to add shortcuts on your screen to certain system functions. So what you do is you press down on a blank area of your home screen. A menu is going to pop up with different options on it. One of them is widgets. You're going to click on widgets. And then you're going to find settings. First, let me talk to you what widgets are. When you install an app on your phone, it might come with a widget. Like, for instance, Spotify or any music app. It might have something, let me show you on my phone. It might have something that allows you to use the app a little bit easier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press down on the empty space on my screen. I'm just going to press down with my finger and this pops up. I'm going to click on widgets. You could have weather. There's calendars. Here's Amazon Music has a little widget to play music that you could put on the screen. And to put any of these on your screen on your phone, all you do is just press down on them and drag them. Drag them out onto the screen. I have calendars. Chrome has little search bars. And all of these scroll to the left. You can scroll to the left. If there are any other ones, you'll see them. Different types of clocks. Here's an app I have that's called Deezer. They have a little music player. They also have a little shortcut that I could put on my phone. It brings you right to the playlist, to the music playlist. You don't have to open the app and then go, to the playlist. So you'll find different types of shortcuts in the widgets. So you can take a look at those to see what you have. Again, different apps might have something. You might find something interesting. And you can go to settings. When you find settings, what you're going to do is press down on settings, drag it out to your page. I'm going to press down. Here I am dragging it out to my page. I've already got another one here. When you drop it on the page, another menu is going to pop up. You'll recognize some of these things. These are battery, display, do not disturb. These are settings that you find on your phone. In the example we're doing, we're going to do the notification log. When you have your notifications on your phone, when you swipe down from the top and you can see what phone calls you miss. Well, let's say you clear the log. I've done this many times where I've cleared the log. And right when I'm clearing it, I see a notification and it's gone. And then I'm like, uh-oh, I didn't read what that was. So this is what you can do. You can put a notification log on your screen. So if I click on notification log, it's going to make this a little notification log shortcut. If I click on it, now I'm going to see what the previous notifications were on my phone. And by notifications, I'm talking about when you swipe down. Let me go back to my home screen. When you swipe down from the top of your phone, you see notifications here. These notifications, phone calls that came in, texts, emails, notifications from your apps, all that type of stuff that comes in on your phone.
Excuse me, what is that USB debugging? What was that?
Oh, I am right now, my phone is attached to my laptop with my charger. And that you have to have that turned on your phones to be able to share it out like the way I'm doing it.
Is that a good thing? What does it do?
Well, right now my phone I'm just having it attached so I can share out the screen. But I could, for instance, have my phone act like a hard drive. And I could take my files off if I want to make copies of my pictures. I do that from time to time. Copy my pictures to my laptop, for, just to save my files. So you can do stuff like that. All right. So were people able to find this shortcut? Now, some of these, I'm going to click on it again. I'm going to click on my screen, go back to widgets, go down to settings. And I'm going to do this again. I have a lot of apps on my phone, so I have a lot of widgets. I'm going to press down on the settings button to go bring it out. And then the menu comes up. Now you could, if you're not interested in the notification log, yeah, maybe you're always looking at your battery setting or your display. If there's a setting here that you see on this list that you're always going to, you could make a shortcut and put it on your page if you want to. Anyone have questions about that? While we went into that menu for the widgets, when you press down on the screen, some of you may have noticed home settings too. This is another area to look at while you're there to let you know that it's here. Some of our phones, you can make a decision about the screen to the left of your home page. You know, some phones you might not have a left page. My left page is a news feed. That's all it is. But you can, on your home settings, you might be able to make decisions about, for instance, my home screen layout. If I click on this, I can decide if I want it to be 4 dots by 5 or 5 by 5, that type of thing. I know on some Samsungs, I believe you can decide where your home screen is. I think some models, you can decide if you want it to be the first screen. It'll always be the first screen or leave it the second screen. So some of our phones let you make decisions like that, just to let you know about it, that it's there. It's a hidden menu that, unless you know to press your finger down on a blank space, you wouldn't even know it was there. Anyone have any questions about that? It's a secret menu. Okay, so we have a question from Hope. How do you get the do not disturb on first screen like presenter has? You're talking about what, Hope? Are you there? You're talking about when I swipe down from the top of my screen, like here? Is that Hope? You can unmute yourself. Go click on your lower left-hand corner of your screen. You can unmute. Yeah, Hope, if you swipe down from the top of your screen and go into your quick settings, you can put your finger, if you look at my phone on the right side of the screen, I have my do not disturb right here, but if you don't have it on your phone, if you pull down from the screen, pull down, you may find it in the larger section. Okay, so did that answer your question, Hope? Hopefully that answered. Yeah, our icons are probably not in the same order if we have different phones, but you should still be able to find it in that area on your phone. You just might have to go to the fuller screen than instead of the short one. All right. Okay, Cynthia, thank you for letting me know that you don't have a camera, but you can see and hear. Thank you. All right. Any other questions or comments about this secret widgets menu? All right. Let's talk about split screen mode. This is a feature. Let's see. Are there any? Okay, Mara has a question. Are there any settings turned off for your protection when you get a new phone? For example, allow third-party apps and others. Boy. I guess that depends on the manufacturer of the phone, on what might be turned off. Usually what I do, if you're wondering if you have a feature or how to enable a feature, what I do is I just go right to a browser like for instance, open a browser. I have a Motorola G6. So I would type in first, I would type in Motorola G6. And then let's say I was looking up do not disturb. I could type in do not disturb. And then I should see some information. Here we go. Moto G6 managing. It tells you how all different things, avoiding interruptions with do not disturb. You'll see a lot of specific articles and information about the model of your phone. And that's a good way to find. If you're wondering if you have something set on your phone or you want to know how to turn it on, that's a good way to find that on your phone. The third-party apps, there is a, yeah, you could type in your phone and do third-party apps to see if there is a setting on your phone. That's what I would do to find that. Oh, and should you turn some off? Oh, for the third-party apps, you could, if you have that setting on your phone, if it allows you. And what that means is apps, that setting, if you have that third-party app setting on your phone, I believe it means installing apps that are not in Google Play Store. That would be outside. Because the stuff that we find in Google Play Store is, you know, they heavily examine all those apps to make sure that they're fine. But when you're getting apps from outside of Google Play Store, then you could run into issues if, you know, you have to make sure it's a trusted source that you're getting them from. And that's what I believe the third-party app part is. Usually you can turn that on or off on some phones to allow it. So it will know that you're not in Google Play when you go to install that app. That's what that means. All right. Split screen mode. This is a feature I used to hardly ever use. But now that they're doing all those codes, those security codes, has anyone had this problem where you can't get, by time you get the email and look up the security code and try to put it into the website, it expires. Does anybody have that problem? It's happening to me all the time. I'm using split screen mode now, more now, I would say, in the past year than I've ever done before. Because of those security codes, they don't give you much time to make that change. So this is where split screen mode is very handy to know how to do on your phone. And what it is you're going to split your screen between two apps. It's also handy if you're a note taker. If you like to take notes while you're reading on the web, you want to take notes, that's another good use for it. You could have a web browser up, you could be reading articles, or reading a book or whatever whatever you have up. It could be your Kindle app. And then you could have a little note taker app like Google Keep or Evernote, one of those, and you could be taking notes as you're reading through. So if you're one of those kind of people, the split screen mode is made for you. So the way to do that, we're going to go to our Recents button and open up a couple apps. You're going to have to have at least a couple apps open on your phone. So I'm going to bring my phone up. The Recents button, by the way, is that square button at the bottom of your screen. It's next to your home. Your home button is the circle button in the middle. And the Recents button is the little square. It might be vertical lines, but it all is the shape of a square. You could have vertical lines. It could be horizontal lines or a solid square. When you click on your Recents button, that shows you what you have open on your phone. So I've got I'm going to open some apps. All I have is settings open. I'm going to close these. I'm going to open up some other type of apps. There we go. So I have a few choices. All right. So now when I click on my Recents button, I have 3 apps open. So let's say I want to have two two apps, I want to split it. So what I can do, when you're looking at the app on your recents, in your recents area, there's a big icon, a circle at the top of each app. You're going to click on that, and then you're going to see split screen. Should be a little selection to split it. Split screen. When you click on split screen, it's going to do that. Now Google Meet is split. You can see the black bar. And now I can select another app. So I'm going to select this right app. I'm going to click on that with my finger right now. And now they're split. So I can work, one app at the top, one app here at the bottom. I should have actually put up, I should put up my browser. Just to show you that my browser, I can scroll. So you can scroll. So you'll have two working apps, one on top of the other. And this works really well when you get those codes, because you can bring up your email. You can have your email up already, have it send the code, get the email, open it up, and then you can have the code there, and you can copy and paste it if it lets you. Sometimes those codes though, sometimes you can't copy them. That's my problem. Is sometimes I can't copy them, and now I have to memorize an 8-digit number, and that's not going to happen. And that's when I run out of time. So and to get out of split screen, all you have to do is take that black bar that's in the center of the screen. You can move it up or down, whichever. If you want to leave one of the apps open, then, like for instance, I have Google Chrome at the bottom. If I want to leave Chrome open, then I would take the black bar and I would move it up, and Meet would close. So I'm going to do that. I'm just going to move the bar up to the top of the screen, and now I just have my Chrome open. All right, how do people do with that? You playing with it a little bit?
I have a quick question for you.
Yeah.
Donna, it's Mary Ann. All right, so my apps are open. I've mine at the bottom, the square doesn't work. I have 3 vertical lines. So that shows me it's open. So when I click on the little icon that's on this at the top of one of the apps that's open, what I get is I get a list of things: app info, open and split screen view, open and pop-up view, and lock this app. Now I'm really curious. This is a Samsung. I don't want to do it because I'm afraid I'll get stuck. What is open and pop-up view? What does that mean?
That's a good question. So let's put it in. This is a good time to go to Google. I'm going to say Samsung open in, because I'm sure other people here probably have that. My phone doesn't do that.
Okay,
Pop-up
open
view.
and pop-up view.
So open and pop-up view, and let's see what we get. Using the smart pop-up, they call it.
Oh.
Toggle on the application you'd like to be viewed in smart.
Tells how to do it, but not exactly what it is so far.
So the nice thing is, here it is. What is it? Oh, pop-up view is a tweak that lets you shrink any app by swiping down from either the top corner of the screen, so the corner.
Mm-hmm.
So you would use it while another app is open behind it. And all you need to do is tap the Recents button, pick an app, then drag it into the open pop-up view window.
Okay, so kind of like when you have a lot of documents open on your desktop.
Yeah.
One's hidden behind the other, and you can make them bigger, smaller.
Right.
Okay.
So you can play around with that. My phone doesn't have that, but some of your Samsung people, you may see that. So that's what it does.
Thank you.
Here's a video. I even have show you a video. Let's see what this guy does. Let's see if I can if I can find it where he's. Let me get the skip the ad. He's
for as long as that app allows for it. And it's very similar to split screen viewing mode because split screen viewing mode
Oh, he
work
says, I think he's saying it's similar to split screen in a sense.
as well.
Yeah.
So let's just say I want to do pop-up viewing mode for messages. I'll go ahead and tap here where the icon is to the top. And then you'll see this option that says open in pop-up view. So when I do this, basically I will now have this sort of floating window here where I can move it around
Oh.
anywhere on my screen.
wow.
And then when I tap right where the tab is to the top here, I'll tap here, you'll notice these options appear for me. So one of them is, of course, being able to go into split screen viewing mode, which I will show you that in a moment. The other one is when I tap on it, it's going to give me this slider bar, which helps to increase or reduce the transparency of that app. So now when I bring it to the left, I can actually see what's underneath.
Oh,
the
you can,
app.
oh, that's neat.
And at the same time, just wait for it to close out, and then now I can move it around.
Okay.
You can actually see what's underneath the floating window. And of course, I can always go back and readjust that slider to give me more visibility of that app itself. The next one here is with the 2 arrows pointed
I think this is
inward.
the
So when I
swipe
tap
thing.
on that, it's gonna make the same app
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
pop-up viewing mode
there we
into
go.
this single app once again, like this, with a white highlight around it, like an outline. And I can move it around anywhere I want to. And you also see the remove option appear to the bottom every time I hold it. I can just slide it and drop it there to close it out completely. But what's so cool about this is that, let's say now I just simply have another app open at the same time in the background. I can still see that floating icon. And when I tap on it, it's going to reopen back up for me as in pop-up viewing mode. And I can work with this app and at the same time work with the app
Oh,
to the bottom.
so it's
And this
kind of
also
on top.
applies for videos. So if you're in the middle of watching
Okay.
a YouTube video
Oh, okay.
in pop-up viewing mode, you can literally have the video playing in the pop-up viewing app right now while working with the app that's open in full display mode. And that's what makes this
I'll put this. This is actually a good video. Sometimes these guys do terrible videos. They go too fast, but he's pretty clear. So I'll put this in the email
Okay.
for Samsung
Thank
people
you.
can take a look at that. That's kind of a
Thank you.
cool feature. Something new. I'd never heard of it before. But that might be helpful for people to see that you can do that too. It's kind of cool. All right. Any other questions for people? All right. Yep. Hope I'll show you how to do the split screen again. And C. Murray, you like that pop up? C. Murray, do you have a Samsung? All right, let me go ahead and bring my phone up again. So I have some apps here open. What I did was I clicked on my recents button. Open up, first you have to open up a couple apps on your phone. Open up your browser, open up some, it doesn't matter. Just I have to have a couple apps open. When you click on your recents button in the corner here, it's going to be a square, or it's going to be a square in the form of vertical lines or horizontal lines. It's right next to the home button at the bottom of your screen. When you click on that, you'll see these, whatever you have open for your apps. And each app is going to have a little icon at the top of it, a little circle. Like right here, I'm looking at Chrome, and it's got the Chrome logo. When you click on that logo, you should see split screen. Click on it. The first app is ready to go. It's already, you can see the black bar. So it's sitting here. Now I need a second app. So I'm going to click on this right P app. I'm going to click on this one. And now it'll be in the bottom part of the split screen. So now I've got my browser here on the top. And on the bottom, I've got another app here. So You'll have two different apps going at the same time where you can work in them. And then to get rid of the split screen, put your finger on the black bar. You can either go up or down if you want to keep one of the apps open, and to get rid of that split screen, and then you can clear out the apps later if you want to. That's split screen. So for instance, for this one, let's say I want to keep my browser open. I'm going to put my finger on the black split screen and I'm just going to pull down, and now just my browser's open. Marianne, you're having trouble with your internet. That's too bad. Okay, I understand if we drop out. Yeah, it's hard. We all have days like that. Sometimes the internet access just gets wiggy.
Yeah.
All right. All right, so that's split screen mode. Very handy little feature. And obviously we have just learned now about pop-up, which is that looks like a fun little feature for Samsung people too. That looks very neat. So I'll be giving you that video in the email at the end. So Samsung people, you can take a look and play with the pop-up thing, because you might find you like the pop-up one better than the split screen. It might be more, tailored to the way you work on your phone. All right, let's go on to the next one here. Accessibility settings. This is a big area on our phones. In your settings area, you should have an accessibility section. And what it is accessibility. These are apps that are handy for, if you have a hearing issue, if you have an eyesight issue, arthritis, anything that might make it using the phone a little bit harder. You can go into your settings and look for accessibility. Some Samsung people, you have to go under settings. You might have to search for accessibility. Sometimes they hide it under the menus. You can find it that way. And I have the accessibility menu on my phone. Let me bring my phone up here. I have this little person in the lower right-hand corner of my phone with their hands out. You might have noticed this little person over here to the right. When I click on that, that's my accessibility menu. I can do the volume up and down. I can do the brightness. On my phone, I have a little bit of arthritis, and the volume up and downs. Just some days it's so hard to deal with those buttons. And I can just come here to my accessibility. I can turn the volume up and down. I can do the power button. If I scroll to the left of this menu, I can do screenshots, which is nice. It's the easiest way to do a screenshot is using the accessibility menu. So you have all these features here. I can lock the screen.
How do you put those icons on there if they're not there? I have to go to settings and look up accessibility.
Go to settings on your phone, and you should have an accessibility section in your menu. If you can't find it, just do accessibility on your search.
Oh, but I like those buttons. How do I get that on my phone?
Okay, to get those buttons, look, and again, we have different phones, so you may or may not have it, but look in the accessibility area, and you're going to look for accessibility menu. Now, on my phone, I have to scroll quite a ways down. It's not near the top. It should be right here. I have interaction controls, and then I have an accessibility menu. When I click on that, I can turn it on. And then it shows up on my screen. We're all going to have different, if you have an older phone, if your phone's older, you're not going to have that many choices under accessibility. As if you have a newer phone, you're going to have more features. This is an area they keep adding things to it. So you will see things like live transcribe. This app also can be downloaded from the Google Play Store. Live transcribe. I don't know if I got it on my phones anymore. Let me see if I have it. Live transcribe is an app where, let's say you're at a restaurant and you're having trouble hearing with the noise with the people at the table you're sitting at. You could open up live transcribe and it will give you captions of what's being said around you so you can see the words. So if you're, have a little trouble when you get into a restaurant, you could just have your phone sitting next to you and you can look down and you'll see captions when people are talking. That's called Live Transcribe, and you can download it from the Google Play Store. See if I still have it on my phone. Oh, I do. Hold on. I'll show you what it looks like. It's right here. It's called Live Transcribe. And if I open it up, it's up. Let me get I got an ad. Here we go. As I'm talking, you can see what I'm saying on the screen. So this is really handy if you're in a restaurant and you're having some trouble hearing people at your table. You could have this sitting by you and you can see some words going by. So this is a nice app if you're interested.
I have a
It's rather
question.
like closed captioning.
Yeah, it's closed captioning. That's something that could be handy.
Can I ask a separate question?
Uh-huh.
Well, I was looking under accessibility interactions, the interaction control, block touch interaction for the back, home, and recent buttons, the keyboard in it. What does that mean?
What did it say again?
Interaction control.
Interaction control, yeah.
Well, I'm wondering if I turn it on, if it'll do certain things I prefer. It says block touch interaction for the back, home, and recent buttons. That's not something you want, right?
No, probably not. That might be there for people who maybe they have to rest their hand on the phone when they're working, and that they would be constantly hitting those buttons. That's all I'm thinking of.
Okay.
Let's say you've had a stroke, and when you're using your phone, your palm is leaning on your phone, then you would probably want to disable those because you're going to be hitting them constantly. That's all I can think about for that one.
Thank you.
There's like a touch and hold delay. When you're clicking on icons, if you find that when you're clicking on an icon, the apps open up too quickly for you, you could add a delay so they don't open as quickly for you. So you can, it really, so you can take a look at what you have in here on your phone. Again, manufacturers will have different features in there. Samsung might have a few features that I don't have on my phone and vice versa. Newer phones are going to have more in this area than an older phone because this is an area that they keep adding. They have things like if you're colorblind or something, you can invert colors. There's magnification. If when you're just pinching in and out, if that's not enough magnification for you for reading your screen, you could turn on magnification. That will bring you even more. Font size. For instance, if I click on font size on my phone, they show sample text. And right now I'm on the second dot, but let's say I bring it to the fourth, the one on the right. If I click here, it shows you how much bigger, how much larger the text is going to be. So you can adjust it to the level that you want. Display size. I've got a display size here. I can change. Right now I'm on default, but let's say I add to it. Let's see if they'll do it. Now it's larger. So now like the text coming in are going to be much bigger. So your phone might show you a little examples. There'll be some talkback. This is another feature you might see on your phone. You can use it. It provides spoken feedback so that you can use it on your device without looking at the screen. So if someone's blind or has low vision, You can use TalkBack.
You mentioned gestures. What was the
Mhm.
rest? I didn't see that, the rest of that page on gestures.
Oh, is that next? Yeah, we're doing that next. That's another thing too. Gestures are very handy. So how are people doing with the accessibility? Yeah, I encourage you to take a good look at what's in there. You might find a very interesting feature for you. Paula, did you find something interesting?
Well, I thought so, but assistant menu has this thing that says single tap to swipe, but it won't let me turn the button on. I keep hitting
Singles. Oh, won't let you turn on the menu?
it, well, I'm trying to turn on, it says use a single tap instead of a swipe to respond to alarms, alerts, and incoming calls. And I do want that, but I can't, the button won't go on.
Well, it might be that possibly your phone. You could try when's the last time you've updated your phone?
I don't know. It just happens. I don't know.
Yeah, next time you get an alert to update your phone, you can check for updates. If you go under your
Is it-
system area.
You go to set when your phone updates. Don't you have choices when it does it?
Yeah, sometimes they'll let you do it. Yeah, set a time.
Where's that under? Where do you find that?
Go to your phone. Let me see if I can find it on mine. Where you can check your updates. I believe it's under About Phone. You should
Oh.
see your updates. Let me type in mine here. Updates. What you have an LG, right?
No, now it's a Samsung
Oh, Samsung. Okay.
A10. Huh.
Yeah, updates are usually in the system area.
Well, it's not on that page about phone. It's not there.
You should be able to see your system updates.
I know, but where, software information, is that where?
Yeah, you can look under software. I have system updates under mine under system. I have system updates and it'll check for updates and tell you whether or not you're up to
Okay,
date.
well, it's not there under software updates and not under about phone, so. Okay, go ahead with your business.
The other thing you could do is look up your phone on the web, do your phone model, and then put
Oh,
in.
I found something here. Maybe this is a problem. I've got auto download over Wi-Fi turned on, and I'm having a problem with something on the phone. Should I turn that off?
Oh, so your Wi-Fi's been down?
No, but I
Oh.
had it on as a choice. I made the choice,
Oh.
auto download over Wi-Fi. Do I need that? I don't want
You
it on.
could. It's auto download over Wi-Fi, right?
Do you want that on?
Yeah, if you're on Wi-Fi, this way it will do that. It'll do the downloads while you're on Wi-Fi.
See, it says last update, March 29th. How do that's not right. I'll just have to
That's
call.
not that long ago.
Okay.
Let's see. All right. Anyone else have any other questions? Some of these features you might have to search on the web just to see more about what they do on your phone. But you might find some interesting things. Take a look at what your phone has. And when you're doing updates on your phone, check back in that area to see if anything's been added. If you get a big update to the Android version on your phone, they could have some more features that they add in. Because this is a growing area where they keep adding some interesting features. All right, let's go to gestures. Another interesting area. Most of phones, it'll be under settings, system and gestures. Samsung people, settings, advanced features, and then motion and gestures. Example of gestures. My phone, if I take my phone and I shake it 2 times, karate chop, like my flashlight comes on. And then I shake it twice and it goes off. That's very handy. When you suddenly end up dark, I don't have to swipe down or anything. I just shake my phone twice and I have a flashlight. So that is an example of a gesture. Some gestures on phones, if you take your phone out and you just flip it like 90 degrees, your camera opens up. So that's handy if you're taking a lot of pictures. If you're traveling, you don't have to sit there and mess around. You just make a motion with your hand and the camera opens. Other gestures, you might be swiping your hand across your screen to bring up your unlock screen, something like that. Or other gestures are pick up your phone, like if say you have a call coming in and you're in the middle of talking to someone, all you have to do is lift your phone up and bring it back down and it stops ringing. Or some phones, the gesture might be to turn your phone upside down and that stops the ringing. So there's all these different gestures. Again, it depends on your manufacturer, the model of phone you have, but take a look at those. You might find screenshots. That's another one. There's the 3-finger screenshot where all you do is you take your fingers spaced out, you tap it on your screen and it'll take a screenshot. So you will see these type of gestures on your phone. Take a look at what you have. You might find something. I love the flashlight thing on my phone. That's just been wonderful. To get that be able to turn that flashlight on real quick. So, again, take a look at your phones, see what you have. You can find something really interesting in that gesture area. And that's another area. Our phones are getting more and more sophisticated. So these gestures are getting more sophisticated. And you can, definitely check back to see what new features they may have added. Anyone have any questions or find something interesting? Oh, you're welcome, Marianne. All right. We're at the end of our hour, but you're going to get all of these slide information. The one thing we didn't get to talk about was Google Assistant. There will be information because a lot of people don't like Google Assistant. And they want to know how to disable it, how to disable the OK Google, I shouldn't say that, but the OKG thing, you can disable that and still use Google Assistant. So I have instructions for that. And for people on Samsung, for Bixby, some people don't like Bixby because it turns on too easily for them and it annoys you. I'm giving you instructions on how to turn off Bixby and how to completely disable that voice feature of that. So if you want to get out of that one. So thank you, everyone, for coming today. Hopefully this was helpful for you. We have other classes. The first Android class is using your Android phone. There is a security and safety feature class that we added a couple weeks ago. And that one, we start off showing you how to set up a medical ID feature on your phone. So if you're interested in that type of thing, you'll want to take that class. We start off with setting up the medical information on your phone and then go into other types of security and safety features. And then there is the Android Advanced Tips. You're in Tips and Tricks 2. There is a Tip and Tricks number 1, too, that you can check out also. And you'll get feedback information in the email that gets sent after this class. Go ahead and fill out the feedback. Put in if you have a new class idea or something like that, go ahead and put that in the feedback. You can invite friends. Let's say you want to have a friend join you in a class. There are options to click and tell your friends about a class you're interested in taking. You could send them a quick email, let them know about it. They'll get the link. Same thing on your phone. You can share out on Facebook to your friends there or send them email. And we have the help at getsetup.io email address, which is a good all-purpose address. If you want to host an interest group, or if you're interested in, say, music or art or something like that, let us know by going to help at getsetup.io. You can tell us about your interest, or if you have a new class idea or an organization. Maybe you have an organization in your area that you think might, might make use of our services, we will talk to them about becoming partners. And you can also request the session recordings through help@getsetup.io. All right, everyone. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. It was a pleasure having you in class. Thank you for supporting Get Set Up, everyone. Take
Thank you.
care.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a great day. Bye-bye.